Hi everyone. We're about to do the new products seminar. So if you are interested in new products, come on over here. If you want to see old products, there are lots of things out in the parking lot. All right, we are live and on the internet now. So if you are on the internet, hello and welcome to the new product seminar. This is the last seminar of Summer Camp 2024. Exams will start after this seminar is over. So I hope you've been taking notes on what we've been done so far. So I'm going to go through some of the highlights, some of the larger products, some of the more interesting products that we've done this year. We've done all sorts of different stuff. Brandon and Kyle in particular, they're the core of our product development team, have been extremely busy this year and have come up with a lot of really good products. So we're quite happy to share a lot of these with you. And if you want to know more information on any one in particular, certainly ask questions during the seminar. And go ahead and buttonhole any single one of the Flyin Miata employees. We will do our best to answer your questions, no matter how nerdy they might be. So the big news, of course, is this thing, NC Turbo. Brandon did about an hour on this earlier, so those of you who are watching online, go back, check that video out. Basically, the one big piece of news that's been released this weekend is $49.99. So that's a sub $5,000 turbo kit. Very happy about that. And for more information, see other discussions. So we're going to go from a $5,000 turbo kit to one of the least expensive and goofiest little things that we sell, but has proven to be very popular, and that is a gas cap holder. Yeah. Hands up if you've got one already, because I can tell from the cheering. You can see them on both of these cars. I can't really demonstrate it to you, but it's a little 3D printed piece that slips into the flap, and lets you take your gas cap and just attach it to the car where you're filling up. It's such a ridiculously simple idea, but it works. There's installation, no tools involved, no adhesive involved. It just sticks into place. It's a clever little two-piece design. Trust me, you'll love it. You'll think you're goofy buying it, but you'll love it. And that is a product of our U-Design program. For those of you who aren't familiar with our U-Design program, it's basically, we have a bank of 3D printers upstairs that run 24/7. And we can print with really high quality stuff, but we know there are a lot of people out there with a lot of creativity who don't have access to this sort of production capability. So what we do with U-Design is if someone has a polished, great idea, great design, we will print it, market it, distribute it, sell it, and then send them a royalty. So that's what this was. The gas cap holder, along with a number of other things, such as a funnel that screws into the oil filler cap, a whole bunch of different little things that we would not have thought of, have come out of this U-Design program. So it's a fantastic program. If you do have some great 3D designs, feel free to let us know about it. The email address is printme@flyinmiata.com. And it is not required to be exclusive. If you want to still sell the STLs, if you want to print your own stuff and send it out there, you go right ahead. But we will send you royalties for the stuff that we print on your behalf. So, next step, RGR side skirts and diffuser. We are all over the place on this one. There is no rhyme or reason to the order I have on this. Brandon, you might know a little more about the history of this, but these are basically, it's a new diffuser and side skirt setup for the NA and NB. This is quality aerodynamic stuff. The diffuser, the side skirts in particular, are really interesting. They're made of billet aluminum, machined Delrin, I think it is, yeah. Aluminum, that sort of thing. It's a fantastic piece. Basically, I can go on for a long time about aero because I'm extremely interested in this, but basically the diffuser is very well designed to be easy to install. It requires no drilling to install. It can be easily removed, so you can run it at the track and then pull it off later. It has little spats on the side to prevent all the chaotic air from the wheels impinging on the airflow, the nice smooth airflow that's taking place on the back. Feel free to come back there on the back of this car here. I've ordered a set. As soon as I saw it, I tried to get this set for my own car. They wouldn't let me have it. So I've got a set on order already. But it's a very, very good diffuser. Most diffusers on the market are for aerodramatics. They look great, but they don't really do anything. The one on this car, for example. But this is actually a very effective track tool to help drive your underside of your car, get some downforce, and make some use of the airflow down there. The side skirts prevent the air from wrapping around underneath the car and adding high pressure to your low pressure area. They have little steering vanes. I forget the exact terms for all this stuff. It's got spats in front of the rear wheel. It's got some little canards up in the front, again, to manage that chaotic front airflow. Very, very nice piece. I think you have to drill about 2 holes to install those. A little harder to remove, but also less likely to be an issue on day-to-day driving. So that also goes with the RGR splitter we already carry. So this is a full aero package that actually is proven. There's CFD charts on our site. I don't, Brandon, are the RGR parts live yet?
No.
Okay. They're not on the website yet. We'll put them on the website as soon as we actually have stock. We're waiting for the shipment to arrive. So this is a sneak preview of what they will be, but it's a very nice little aero kit. You'll see these popping up on hopefully a lot of cars soon, but you'll definitely see them on mine. Yeah, okay. I covered all my notes on that one. Another one that has shown up, 2-piece rear rotors for the NA and NB. Basically, this gives you a lighter rear rotor. This is the sport size, which was used. It's been used in all of our 4-wheel kits on the back. It can also factory from the back on the ND2s on the sport cars. And basically, it's can we get a 2-piece rotor option in the rear? And the answer now is yes. There you go, on the shelf, ready to go. That one's not so exciting as some of the others, but this one, I'm going to tell you, we do actually have like deep down product videos on almost every single one of these. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see that we have been through all of these, a deep dive showing them installed, talking about their development process. This is a high-level discussion we're doing right now. So just to let you know they exist and say, ooh, I should check that out. This is a power steering delete piece. Basically, if you want to remove your power steering, but you still want to run air conditioning, you need some way to tension the belt. Now, back in the day, of course, this was an option from Mazda. It's an NA NB part. This was an option from Mazda. There was a little idler tensioner pulley available to do that. That has not been available for a very long time. Used ones are worth ridiculous amounts of money. So we decided to take that on, and we came up with this setup, which bolts on the front of the engine. I don't think we have one set up here right now. But we decided to take it a step further and put an automatic tensioner on there. So you don't have to worry about setting the belt tension. It will set it for you like a modern car. Even comes with the correct belt. So everything you need. So this is a really nice piece if you are deleting your power steering and you want to keep your AC. And if you understand our weather here, you understand why you might choose that particular combination of attributes. Yep. Okay. Now for a sexy one. New shock tower brace. Again, it's an NA NB part. You've actually seen this one before. This one's been on sale for a little bit. This is a properly designed shock tower brace. I'm going to be doing a full deep video on this, on why, how these work. A lot of people think they only work on strut-based cars, but they actually do have a function on a double wishbone car like a Miata, because the shock towers are still trying to force themselves up and down, and this helps block them into place. It has a surprising effect on the steering. It'll make the steering feel better. I did not expect that the first time I installed one of these, but this is the latest design from Flyin Miata. It's all stainless steel. The reason it's up here now as a new product is because the original design was not compatible with NA stock airboxes. So there's a whole bunch of details that have gone into the design of these towers. They have a hole in the middle that allows the cruise control cable to run through there, so this does not get in the way of your cruise control. It has all the various indents and things that it needs to clear stock airboxes on the NAs and the NBs. It's compatible with our master cylinder brace as well, so you can put a nice brace on your master cylinder, get that nice firm pedal, and not have to give up your shock tower brace. So we have the ones in stock right now that are not compatible with stock NA airboxes. The new bases that are on this one are coming soon, so they will be in stock shortly. So not really a big new product, but a very effective one. I'm glad we have one of these back on the shelf again. And of course, it's got the Flyin Miata logo engraved on it because, why not? Represent. 5 horsepower, 5 visual horsepower, yes. Only effective when the hood is up and you're parked in the parking lot, but definitely 5 horsepower. I don't have anything to wave around here, but just for those of you who are interested in our LED lighting kits, things like headlights, taillights, we are moving to some of the next generation of LEDs. They are a little more compact. They have smaller cooling fans. They have brighter output. You'll see these gradually coming into the catalog as time goes on. Kyle's been doing a lot of work on LEDs, huge amount of work on LEDs. So keep your eyes on those. You're going to see a bunch more applications coming in, a bunch more new ones that are new and improved over the previous generations. And as always, many of them are coming from US-made manufacturers. So we're trying to support the local manufacturers of LEDs as much as possible. Okay, it's not all NA and B. This is an ND part. This is a master cylinder brace. Your firewall can deflect. Your brake master cylinder, your pedals basically are pushing against your firewall when you're on the brakes. You're trying to modulate the brakes. And that is a surprisingly flexy piece of steel. So a master cylinder brace basically keeps your master cylinder from moving under the force that you're putting on the brake pedal. As you can imagine, that is very reassuring when you're coming up to the braking point for turn 2 at Laguna Seca. You just come over the hill, you're coming down as quickly as possible. And time to brake, you want that brake pedal to be nice and firm, easy to modulate, no springiness. And so that's what this is. This is a bolt-on master cylinder brace. I believe we have one on our car outside, on the turbo car with the stripes. You can have a look at it. Again, from our friends at Paco Motorsports, who designs a lot of our sheet metal stuff. So this is a nice addition. We do also have those available for the NA and the NB as well. So next time you're bleeding your brakes, have a look at how much the master cylinder is moving, even just while bleeding the brakes. You're going to be shocked. That will sell you on one of these. That's what sold me. Okay, another big heavy one. Again, from our friends at Paco Motorsports, hub stands. This is not a new product. We've had hub stands in one way or another for years. This is the 5th generation. It is the latest version of the 5th generation, and what we have done is we have taken over manufacturing from Paco Motorsports, and as part of that, that's managed to drive the price down by $250 a set. So these are a considerable savings over the previous one. They're still made to the same high level. They're still laser cut. They still allow you to do a full alignment on your car. You can set the thrust angle with these, as well as camber, whatever, caster, toe. Full setup. They're great for if you're doing suspension work, for being able to torque things with weight on the wheels. They're maybe a little overkill for a typical garage. I mean, I've got a set, but that's asking a lot. But it's a great club purchase. If you're the sort of club that buys tools to share around for when someone's doing a once in a year job, this is a good addition to that, is these hub stands. So they're, I forget what the price is on them right now. They're $250 less than they were. And they come with all of the various little bits and pieces you need. And we have done instructional videos on how to use these, on how to align your car using these things. Also very useful for corner weighting if you have access to a set of corner weight scales and you're the sort of person that likes to corner weight your car. There's also a hanger kit available so you can hang them on the wall. I don't have one here to show you, but as part of that, there's a couple little brackets that will actually let you put these up on the wall so they take a lot less space because they are a little unruly. And those will fit just about any vehicle with a 4 or 5 bolt wheel pattern that weighs 4,000 pounds or less. Luckily, that includes every Miata. Unruly. Okay. Randall cowl intakes. These have been off the market for a while, and we are happy because Randall, the fellow who developed them, no longer was able to make them for us. So they went through a redesign process, and now they are back on the market, and they have been improved. The original was carbon fiber, which was very sexy, but also drove the price up, made them relatively expensive, and also made them a little difficult to install because they were very, very rigid. The new design is made out of formed silicone. You're seeing a lot of that around here these days, which means that it's tough, almost indestructible. It's easy to install because you can flex it. Can someone grab me a mic stand? I need 2 hands for some of this. You can flex it around, and I will show you in a moment what's going on at the end here. Thank you, Vanna. Okay. All right, I should have maybe thought further ahead. So first off, we do have the actual duct part, and this is the shape for an NA. It's quite the shape. And this is an NB. Just these hook into the stock air box, and they pull air from the cold side of your firewall. It pulls them from the cowl. And that air is quite a bit cooler than it is under hood. And the advantage is basically cool air is denser, more oxygen to burn with your fuel. And we have measured these as a solid 5 horsepower gain on the dyno with the hood closed compared to not running them with hood closed. We did that test years and years and years ago. And just to make sure, when we came out with the new design, we said, was that test really valid? Did that really, I mean, that seems a little too good to be true. So we took the latest generation, took them down to dyno, and we duplicated the result. So it has been proven several times that yes, this is a legitimate 5 horsepower gain with the hood down. So if you're sitting at the start line of the autocross, this is where you're going to get it. So the updates that we have on this, as well as just the 5 horsepower being proven again, they now have this little plate that goes up against the firewall that not only has a grid to keep squirrels out of your engine or whatever, but it also has a clip on the bottom to locate the clutch line that runs directly underneath where this goes. So that actually keeps your clutch line from flapping around and eventually vibrating. And this is a 3D printed part that comes off our bank of printers. So available for the NA and the NB, and they are in stock now, are they not? And they are California legal. We have an EO for these things. So there you go, California folks. We're not forgetting you. The new ones also have a nice little bracket mid-run to help keep it. This is on the NB to keep it from moving around. That was not available on the previous one. So they're not quite as stiff as the carbon fiber. Not as sexy, we'll admit it, but considerably less expensive, and a couple of nice little updates. We will open up. All right, there we go, that's better. I will open up the questions again in a bit, so we will have, I grabbed the wrong shock. We will be able to, if you do have questions, we'll get there. So if you pretended this shock was red and not orange, I would be holding a Koni Special Active. Instead, I'm holding an STRT, which is a great replacement for a stock shock, but that's not really what we're here for. The Koni Special Active is the latest generation of Koni shocks. It has frequency selective damping, which is a fairly clever little thing. I did a whole video on this. I talked for a considerable amount of time with some of Koni's engineers trying to figure out the best way to explain them. But basically, it's damping that is due to time. If you watched the Fox seminar earlier, this is completely unlike anything that they've been dealing with. It's an odd little mechanism inside these things. And it basically, the goal of it is to allow for short, quick movements to go through without driving them through the chassis. So, little bumps, corrugations in the road, that sort of thing. But big movements are well damped, and they're judged on big movements by how long they take to happen. It's an odd thing. It's not just like a blow-off valve inside like I thought it was originally, but basically it gives you more body control without harshness is the goal. They are not adjustable. They are basically designed as a step up from something like an STRT, partly because of their snazzy red color. But the goal with them is to basically give you the body control, give you a little more sharpness to the handling, but without the harshness that comes from a lot of high-speed compression damping, for example. We've tried these on multiple cars. I will admit that the Koni Sport is still the favorite amongst some of the Flyin Miata staff. For what the attributes it brings, the adjustability, a lot of us do like the Sport, but there are some of us who also prefer the Special Active. So depending on how you're using the car, you may or may not prefer these. These are less expensive than the Sport, which is kind of nice. And there's no adjustability, so there's no chance you're going to twiddle the knob the wrong way. I can tell you they do reward cars with more suspension travel more. That is their one weakness, is they don't deal well with cars with short suspension travel that can blow through them quickly before the travel has taken enough time. So they will be better suited to the NCs and NDs. I believe the NCs we have on the shelf and the NDs are coming, if I remember correctly. So these are coming for all Miatas. They are available at the moment, certainly for the NA and NB. And they also are available for the Tesla Model 3, and I got to tell you, they're great on the Tesla. Okay, last thing I'm going to talk about, and this is, well, second last thing. This is exciting, wheel studs. We have some new wheel studs available. They are strong, they're excellent metallurgy at approximately 30% less than the previous wheel stud offerings we had. So basically more affordable wheel studs. Nice bullet ends on them, make it nice and easy to slide your wheels on quickly if you're in a hurry. If you're doing an endurance race in the middle of the night and you don't want to be sitting there fiddling with the wheel, the bullet nose helps a lot with that. So here we go, nice updated wheel studs. And now the last thing. As you know, we had a little trouble for a while there getting turbo kits on the shelf. There were a couple of reasons for that. There were a couple of key components. We lost our suppliers for one reason or another. Some of them were, there were families retiring, getting out of the foundry business. We had a key employee pass away at one of the vendors. We've had to bring some of that back online, but as you may have noticed, turbos are coming into stock more and more often. And this, we expect them to be fully in stock permanently soon. We are really aiming towards that. But as part of that, because we had to go to a new foundry, we originally dealt with a small family-owned foundry in Utah, and the family basically decided to close that down because, not everyone wants to take over the family business. As part of that redesign, or that change, we took advantage of this fact to redesign the manifold we've been using for years. And so we have the new Flyin Miata turbo manifolds. Again, I did a video on these specifically, but the high points are we did a bunch of CFD on them. We improved their flow by, I believe it was 24%, which is fantastic. It means better spool. It means potentially more power if you are running an aftermarket ECU, but even if you're not on the Stage 1 kit, it gives you more power. They are lighter. Between this and the new exhaust, or the new turbine outlet housing, it saves 4 pounds on some kits in terms of just plain cast iron on the side of your car. And they are now Cerakoted from the factory as well. We Cerakote them so that they stay looking great for forever. So these are standard on all of the new turbo kits. So if you have a look on the mock-up over there, you will see them on that. We have both NA and NB and 1.6 variants out there. But that is pretty big news for us. We're pretty happy with it because it's not a dramatically different setup, but it's a much better design. It flows much better. This is a sort of iterative design that we do all the time on the turbo kits. This is more obvious than most, but even the old turbo kits that you might think have been on the market since 2006, there's always design work like this going on. So, on sale now. They are not available separately at the moment, partly because we're making sure that we have enough stock to fulfill full turbo kit orders, but we will be getting to the point where we're on top of our supply problems and we should be able to offer them out. So that's my list. Do we have any questions?
So the ND master cylinder brace, is it compatible with the mounting location for the CAN bus Hushmatic exhaust?
So the question is the master cylinder brace, the ND master cylinder brace, compatible with the mounting for the CAN, our Hushmatic controller, basically? And the answer is yes if you have the new bracket, and if you don't, we can supply you with the new bracket. So yes, we redesigned the bracket as part of that because of the interference, and we do have replacements available, so you can make that work. Yes?
Going back to your gauge cluster from a few years back,
the gauge cluster, yes, the race dash, the analog race dash. That product is still viable. It's still live. It fell off the priority. Things like redesigning the Voodoo box, because that was where we lost the vendor for the Voodoo box. The one fellow who was building and designing those passed away. We had to have a crash program to sort of redevelop the Voodoo box from scratch. That took priority. So yes, it is still a viable product. I was actually looking at the prototype sitting on my desk when I left this morning thinking, I wonder if I should bring those out. They are very close. We are hoping to have them on the market in the next few months. It's just a matter of the sort of questions I have right now is how many 7mm spacers do we need to include on an NB versus an NA, and what screw lengths do we use? All the little goofy details that you don't think about when you're making one for yourself and you're just scrabbling through the pile of screws on your desk. But we want to be able to actually provide you something where you don't have to do that. So it's at that level. It's very, very, very close. So I apologize. We've teased you with that one for a couple of years, but it's just sort of a side project of mine that just quite hasn't made it yet. Much to Brandon's enjoyment, I'm sure. Any other questions?
Yeah. So the new Konis.
The new red Konis, yes.
Yeah, I assume those are compatible with the Flyin Miata spring.
The new Konis, the FSD Koni, the Special Active, is not compatible with the Flyin Miata springs. It's basically considered an upgrade for factory replacement shocks like these. They don't have the rebound control to control those stiffer springs. So they are not valved to deal with our springs. If you are running our springs, you'll want to use the sports. And that's why we don't package them with the sports. We sell them on their own, but we do include a new set of bump stops with every set of shocks we sell. So all of our shocks, whether the STRTs or the Special Actives or the sports, they all come with new bump stops, whether that's an improvement from your stock ones or simply because we recognize that your stock bump stops might be 25 years old and have turned into dust by this point. You'll probably want new ones, so we include them with every shock. Are the NC ones in stock? Yeah, if the NC ones aren't in stock, they're on the way. It's very, Koni has been taking orders for them. It's just a matter of if they have shipped them to us yet. Check our website for that one. If you're watching in the future on the internet, check our website. You'll find out what the status is right now. So Koni is actually having their summer sale at the moment. So this is a good time to buy them because they're on sale. There we go. Pedro.
I'm sorry if I missed this, but the new turbo manifold design, is that still physically locate things in the same position? Say if you had a little dog manifold and you guys get to the point where you saw it separately, will that physically fit in the same location?
So the question is about the new turbo manifold. Basically, is it dimensionally the same? Is it a drop-in replacement for the old ones? And the answer is yes, it is. That's one of the things we take into account when we're designing these new parts, is we want to make sure they're backwards compatible so that people who have supported us in the past can still come to us and say, hey, I like that new manifold, I'd like to upgrade, or something happened to my car, a mechanic set the side of my car on fire, my manifold melted, whatever. We can provide you with replacement parts. And that actually goes back a long way. If you have a turbo kit that you bought when I started back at Flyin Miata in 2001, we still have replacement parts that are compatible with that turbo kit. So that's something we've aimed to do with these all along. So yes, these are direct drop-in replacements for the existing manifolds. What's that? I mean, these ones are. I just can't sell you these ones right now, yes. So if you have any more questions, please do feel free to ask any of the Flyin Miata staff. We would be happy to show you these things, let you touch them, play with them a little bit. We offer free shipping, so if we have them in stock, we understand you have small cars, we will send them home for you, so you don't have to figure out how to put this stuff in your car. But that's about it. We are 3:30, I think that's probably talking long enough. We're going to be clearing this, we're going to be doing a little rework here to get ready for dinner. I believe we have our awards ceremony coming up at 5 o'clock. It's not just awards for the track, there's a few other things going to be happening in that. And then we will have some excellent barbecue after that. Thanks for your attention, everybody, and we will be talking to all of you.